So in this video clip we are discussing the various insecticides and its mode of action. Hope that you have seen previous clip, that is introduction of pest and classification of insecticides according to mode of action. Here the first insecticide as per your syllabus, arsenicals. This is derived from the arsenic acid, ASOH3. Arsenicals are stomach poison. That means it is enter into stomach of the insects and exerts the poisonous effect. It is suitable for paste of vegetables. The first is lead arsenate. It is used as a dusting on foliage in powder form. Dusting means it is in powder form and it is dusted on the foliage. Foliage, that means leaves of the vegetables or crop, foliage. It adheres on foliage for long time. Adheres, that means sticks. It sticks to foliage, leaves for long time. Second product from arsenical insecticide is calcium arsenate, Ca3, ASO4 and O2. Used against leaf eating insects. Leaf eating insects means those insects which have biting and chewing type of mouth parts. And this calcium arsenate is used as a spraying or dusting against the vegetable pest. Inorganic arsenic pesticides has not been used for the agricultural purposes nowadays. These arsenicals compound, they are banned throughout the world. Nowadays it is not used. In developing countries it is banned. In some underdeveloping countries they might be using, but in throughout the world it is banned. Why? It is banned throughout the world due to its long residual and carcinogenic effect. Its long residual effect, that means it remains in poisonous state for very long time in soil, and it is responsible for carcinogenic effect, means causing of cancer. That's why these arsenical compounds are banned and it is not now used as a dust powder or spray. It is now just used as a poison bait. Poison bait, that means bait means for attraction. One mixture is created. That mixture contains the bran and jaggery. Jaggery means wood. And this material is used against the potato beetle. So this material is kept into dishes and the insects, they come, and when they eat this mixture, that is a poisonous bait, they get killed. Mode of action. It exerts toxicity by following mode of action. How it exerts toxicity? The first one is exfoliation of digestive tract, particularly midgut. Exfoliation, that means when this poison, since it is a stomach poison, when it enters into the midgut, the midgut cell lining, they get destroyed, they get torn off. That is called exfoliation, destruction of midgut cells. Second, this poison is responsible for disturbing the oxidative phosphorylation in citric acid cycle. Citric acid cycle, that Krebs cycle, that you know very well. In Krebs cycle, the oxidative phosphorylation takes place, that means ATP production takes place, and the ATP, adenosine triphosphate, that energy capsules, they are used for the survival of the life. So this poison disturbs the citric acid cycle and entire oxidative phosphorylation is disturbed and no energy production, so death of the insect takes place. It disturbs the fat metabolism also, because these arsenical poisons, they get absorbed into the fats and fat metabolism is disturbed. So this is about the arsenicals, the first insecticide. The second insecticide, that is pyrethrum. Pyrethrum is a widely used insecticide nowadays because this is a good type of insecticide. This is a plant extracted insecticide. It is extracted from plant. This is extracted from the flowers of plant Chrysanthemum cinecerifolium. Chrysanthemum cineserifolium. This is the botanical name of this plant, and this is extracted in a 6 volatile esters. These esters are pyrethrin 1 and 2, cinerin 1 and 2, and jasmolin 1 and 2. So this plant, everywhere this plant is occurs. This is the plant, Chrysanthemum cineserifolium, and this plant in Marathi it may be called as a, I think, Shevanti something. This plant is, from this plant this pyrethrum is extracted. This insecticide is very much effective as a contact poison and used against vegetables and crops and livestock. This insecticide is very useful. Why? Because it is not harmful to warm-blooded animals. That means it is not poisonous to warm-blooded animals like human being and domestic animals as well as birds. And there is no residual effect of this. And these esters, they are easily hydrolyzed and decomposed fast by sunlight. It remains for 3-4 days in poisonous state, and after that it becomes completely decomposed and its poisonous nature is lost. So because of these good characteristics, this is a good insecticide, and it gives a very quick knockdown power. Quick knockdown means sudden or fast killing of insect. That is called knockdown effect, knockdown power of this insecticide. Mode of action. How this insecticide acts? It is a neurotoxic poison, has neurotoxic action. It blocks the sodium and potassium pump. Sodium and potassium pump, you know that this is for the transmission of the impulses, nerve impulses. And this sodium and potassium, this pump means these are the proteins, carrier proteins in the cell membrane, plasma membrane. This we have seen in the semester 1 when we discussed the structure of plasma membrane. We have seen there is a protein channels or carrier proteins. Through these proteins the material is transported inside the cell and outside the cell. So protein channel is there, and through this protein channel sodium and potassium pump takes place, and that is responsible for nerve impulse transmission. Sodium channel allows the sodium ions to pass through the membrane and enters in the axon and propagate the action potential. Means when impulse is transmitted, sodium enters into the axon and action potential is created. But due to this poison, pyrethrum, this toxin keeps sodium channel in open state, and so that nerve cannot repolarize. It results into axonal membrane permanently depolarized, and therefore paralytic attack to insect takes place, and it causes the excitation of nerve followed by convulsions, and then it followed by the paralysis, and finally death results. So this is because of blocking of the sodium ion, sodium potassium pump. Now next insecticide as per your syllabus is carbamate. Carbamate, that is a organophosphorus insecticide. OP compound, this is called OP, highly poisonous compound. This OP compound is a highly poisonous and most widely used insecticide throughout the world. Organophosphorus compound. They are esters of carbamic acids. Firstly, they were extracted from the seeds of calabar bean, Phytosteoma venosum. This is the name, botanical name of one plant, Phytosteoma venosum. From these plant seeds, firstly the esters were isolated or extracted in the form of carbamic acid, and nowadays it is synthesized. It is produced in a factories in a very large quantity, and this is a contact as well as systemic poison. Carbamate or OP compound, they act as a contact as well as systemic poison. Systemic, that last time we have seen in last clips video clip. Systemic means it is absorbed in the plant. The compounds of carbamates, there are many commercial compounds, but here some are there. Carbaryl, it is very widely used. C12H11NO2, it is a crystalline solid applied in dust powder form against the pests of paddy, cotton and vegetables. This is one insecticide of this carbamate form, OP compound. Begon C12H15NO3, it is a white to cream colored crystalline powder. It is applied 20% emulsive concentrate. Emulsive means it is mixed and liquid is formed. It is dissolved into emulsifier, that's why it is called emulsive concentrate. It is very useful against the household pest, Begon, against the house flies and insects like cockroaches and mosquitoes. The Begon is widely used in the household purposes. Phorate and thymate, C7H17O2PS3, it is a clear liquid applied as a emulsive concentrate 44%. Again this is a liquid, but it is dissolved into emulsifier and produce 44% solution, that is 44% concentrate solution. It is used variety of agricultural crops and fruit crops. Widely used is this thymate and carbaryl. So these are the insecticides of carbamates, OP compound. Mode of action. The mode of action of this carbamate is very important. They are anticholinesterase agent, associate with the neurophysiology, interferes with the normal physiology of the synaptic transmission. Organophosphorus compounds, carbamate, reach the site of synapse and inhibit the enzyme acetylcholinesterase. Now this entire mechanism we discuss here in these two figures. In these two diagrams we discuss the normal mechanism of the impulse transmission from one neuron to other neuron at the site of this synapse. This is called synapse. And also here we discuss how this OP compound, this poison, these OP compounds interfere in the normal physiology of synaptic transmission of the nerve impulse. So here for the nerve impulse transmission, it is a chemical process and it is performed by two main elements. This acetylcholine, ACH, acetylcholine, and this enzyme acetylcholine esterase. These two things, they are very important. These two things, they are responsible for transmission of these impulses, acetylcholine and acetylcholine esterase. Then this is a presynaptic membrane, and this one is a postsynaptic. This one is a postsynaptic membrane, and here this is a cleft. That cleft is called synaptic cleft. The gap between this is synaptic cleft. So presynaptic membrane, similarly this postsynaptic membrane, and the space intermembranous space is called synaptic cleft. Now here the presynaptic membrane secretes the vesicles. Here in this diagram these vesicles are shown. These vesicles containing acetylcholine. Here in this diagram the synthesis of acetylcholine is shown. Acetyl-CoA is converted to acetylcholine with the help of enzyme choline acetyl transferase. Acetyl-CoA is converted into acetylcholine through choline acetyl transferase. So this acetylcholine is a neurotransmitter which is discharged. It is discharged from this presynaptic membrane into this synaptic cleft. Then it is attached to receptors, that is called acetylcholine receptors. These acetylcholine receptors, they are present to postsynaptic membrane. It is acetylcholine is released from this presynaptic membrane into cleft, and then it migrates and attached to receptor, acetylcholine receptor of the postsynaptic membrane. Then immediately this acetylcholine esterase is synthesized. Acetylcholine esterase is synthesized, and this hydrolyzes acetylcholine into two products, choline and acetic acid, which is then migrate to this presynaptic membrane. Again it goes back to the presynaptic membrane, and the acetylcholine receptor is now becomes free, and it is ready to accept the next impulse. So acetylcholine is released into cleft, it is accepted by receptor, and it forms the acetylcholine receptor complex. This acetylcholine receptor complex is broken by acetylcholine esterase, and choline and acetic acid is formed, that again it enters into presynaptic membrane for again next impulse transmission. Here what happened, the OP compound, this carbamate, they joins with the acetylcholine esterase enzyme, acetylcholine esterase, and inhibits its activity. So this enzyme is incapable of hydrolyzing. It is incapable of hydrolyzing the acetylcholine, and it remains attached to acetylcholine receptor for a long time, and because of this it causes depolarization for a long time, and due to this blocking of this synaptic site, it results into paralysis and death of the insect. So this is all about the mechanism or mode of transmission, mode of action of this insecticide, OP compound. So here we stop. Next clip we will discuss the another insecticide and merits and demerits of the insecticides.